quick to that dollar. Getting that cheese, that chicken, that guala. Movado on wrist, baby, don't trip. This that Dolce Gabbana. This is that trip out to Italy. That vibe when you sip on that Hennessy. This is that feeling you get when your whole team is rich and you buy your own embassy. Bust down in that drop top. No, I don't dance, don't pop lock. Niggas crazy thinking money change me. If you owe me, pay me, you rise clock. Yo, 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 yo. You already know it's your boy, New Future Flash. You tuning in to TMG Reacts. Happy Friday, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Grab a drink, come kick it with the dog. Man, we back. All right, we back on this journey. I told you I'm not gonna get off the journey till, you know what I'm saying, he don't drop a hot track. So let's get into it. You know what I mean? The boy MacDonald back. This is called Sheeple. So you guys be running the comments up. So let's get into it. Let's see what conversations he about to start with this one. somebody said, yo, I'll rock with your channel, but I'm not gonna subscribe till you do Sheeple. So you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. Let's earn this subscription. You know what I mean? Like, comment, subscribe, ding that bell, help the channel grow. We're trying to get 100K. Hit me up on IG. Make sure you guys follow me. That's the best way to get in contact with me. It's New Future Flash, you know what I'm saying? And then I got the YouTube reaction channels, New Future Flash Reacts. Go follow both of them things, you know what I mean? Hit me up, drop some recommendations, and hit me up with some voicemails so I could throw them into these videos. So let's get into it. Boom.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual
He jumped right into it. So let's run it back a little bit and let's break down some of this shit because, you know, it's funny. It's funny because I'm not anti-Semitic or any of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I love everybody. But it's funny that somebody pointed out the fact that you could talk crazy about black people. You could talk crazy about white people. You could talk crazy about Hispanics and Asians, you know what I'm saying? But the moment you talk about them, you know who's, you know what I mean? All your funding gets stripped. All your damn broadcasts get stripped. And he said, you want to know who's killing you and who's holding you back? Who's the one you can't criticize?
Find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides.
All right, let's run it back. Let's run it back some more. Damn, we gonna have to really. You guys say you like the pausing, you know what I'm saying? I try to get through it because I like to get the vibe of the song, for one, because that's the most important. The musicality is most important to me. You know what I mean? But some of the shit that he be saying is kind of crazy, dog. Cause so I don't really think that he's saying slavery didn't exist. What he's saying is when people learn about black history, they start at slavery for some reason instead of starting with like when they were kings and stuff. And then he was like, white people, you weren't actually, you know what I'm saying, like Nazis. So it's like all of our history has been presented to us in a horrible fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the point he's trying to make.
Humans been controlled since the day that they were civilized. The truth has been so heavily politicized. If you don't know who's controlling you and killing all the little guys, find out who you're not allowed to criticize. Black folks who were never ever actual slaves, fighting with white folks who ain't actual Nazis, controlled by rich folks who use the news to make hate, while elite folks control other political parties. It's a big lie, trying to make you pick sides, trying to make you burn the cities down and kill each other. They got sick minds, big lies, deep on the police so that there's big crime. To take away our freedom, to restore order, they let die. Play with people, turn men into women, make the counterculture mainstream to mix up the system. Change the pronouns, if gender is a spectrum, so is privilege. I know poor white folks and black celebrities with millions. They starve you with a lack of information and only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free.
Bro, all of that is facts, dog. All of that is facts. I was just arguing with somebody in the comments about the political thing. I was like, bro, I'm the furthest away from politics, bro. I don't believe in none of that shit. And I brought up the fact, I like, you know, if you go all the way back to it, it's like the same political party kind of funded both. I mean, the same, like one family kind of funded both political parties and shit like that. You know what I mean? And if you go back, it's like, that's how it works. And it's like, they fund the health system or the food. They fund the food and then they fund the medicine. Like one family funds both of that. You know what I mean? Regardless if it's cousins or whatever, but that family tree, like they own both parts of that. So they feed us the food that gets you sick, and then they prescribe you the medicine that heals you. You know what I'm saying? Or get you hooked. So what he's talking about is crazy. Yeah, this is my type of shit, bro. I can't even hold you.
And only give you facts through a branded corporation. Distort your worldview with an algorithm that changes based on propaganda curated for your engagement. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems. Hollywood been writing your brain, controlling your mouth. You say lit, fleet, bet, cap, they trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to...
Dog, he is going crazy, bro. And I'm starting to understand what you got, because somebody was like, the hooks that he does, like he leans more rock to get his rock fan base, which is smart. It's smart, you know what I'm saying? But about the damn Hollywood kind of like telling you what's hot and getting like affecting your lingo, like your clothes and all that shit, bro. He's talking about some crazy stuff. It's like all mind control stuff. You know what I mean? And if you're a free thinker, it almost puts you into a spot where you feel kind of ashamed to really say what you want to say. Like I think that, so that's why I decided to start the podcast, the No Yes Man podcast, because it was like, I want to have a conversation with somebody who does not agree with me. You know what I mean? And I feel we should do that a lot. Like an atheist should talk to a Christian. You know what I'm saying? A Nazi should talk to a Black Panther. You know what I mean? Or a pro-African or Israelite, or because they all got different views. But if you have a conversation, you kind of understand better the dynamic of what's going on. Because I feel like everybody got a piece of information, and the more we're divided, we can't really, you know what I mean?
You say lit, fleet, bet, cap, they trying to dumb you down. They endorse whatever narrative is popular to shout and use minorities in movies for diversity clout. Two sides on the spectrum, but ain't none of them honest. Took the red pill and the blue pill, spit them both in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree, it's free speech. Disagree, it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but that can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see.
That's actually not true. That's actually not true. He was forced to end slavery, because if you read about the Gullah Wars, the African Americans and the Native Americans kind of teamed up, and they were murdering the fucking slave owners, and they were working all the way up north. So Abraham Lincoln was up north, and he was kind of forced because they were starting to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because like the history, he even said it, like the history is given to you in a way that it kind of shapes how you think. You know what I mean? And how he's breaking it down all into a song that's only 4 minutes long, because it's a lot of conspiracy stuff that's not really a conspiracy. It's just not mainstream information. And he said it at the beginning of the second verse. All the information is being kept from you. You know what I mean? And I feel like that applies to health, medicine. That applies to basically everything. Like there's a reason why people in the NFL and people in the celebrity culture, they lose weight, gain weight so fast. And a lot of regular people are because they got access to a different nutritional information. You know what I mean? It's not just trainers. It's about how your body actually works. And they don't teach that in a regular health class. You know what I mean? And that goes to finances. That goes with the rich having loopholes in the taxes and all that stuff. It really is about withholding information from us.
in the garbage. Being woke used to mean you understood you're a target, and now it's having two good legs and never taking a step forward. If you agree it's free speech, disagree it's hate speech. Erase it if it came from anywhere except the mainstream. Trump supporters labeled as the racist, but they can't be. Lincoln was Republican, and that's who ended slavery. Science been politicized, it's easy to see. A mask became a symbol of which side you believe. But you'll never cure a sickness till you cure the greed, because the problem with our natural immunity is it's free. Society is broken, want you locked inside a cubicle, addicted to pornography, liquor, and pharmaceuticals. Tell you that you're fat and poor and you were never beautiful, then tweet how much they love you when they hear about your funeral. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Glued to screens, just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems. If they can't convince you, they confuse you. They want you dumb and dead. They divided you by race, religion, income, and sex. Made everybody right and left. The hatred got so intense. If the other side likes oxygen, you'll put a bag on your head. And the conspiracy theories labeled as misinformation is just a terrifying truth that scares the hell out the nation. The system treating you like trash, and you got rifles to aim with. Just imagine how they'll treat you when your guns get confiscated. George Orwell, 1984 was his last lecture. George called him thought.
See, that's crazy, bro. He is talking about so much. Even like the gun thing. You know what I mean? Like gun control. They paint it a way to like protect us, right? But we're one of the few. I was listening to this lady from North Korea. She escaped North Korea, and she was like, the U.S. having their own guns actually make sure that the government don't ever want to, you know what I'm saying, go too crazy. Like over in North Korea, they don't got no damn rule. Like they don't got no laws that help the citizens or nothing. It's all what old buddy says. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a dictatorship. So she was basically saying that because she had to escape, and since China and North Korea is united, like she had to get all the way out of that shit because she was like an enemy of the state, even in China, even after she escaped North Korea. And she was just talking about how the guns, like she went to a shooting range when she was out here. She was like, it's so crazy that Americans have guns and this, that, and the third. And even my friends in London and stuff, they're like so confused, like, why do we all have guns? But in our reality is to keep, it's supposed to be to keep the government from taking things a little too far. You know what I mean? Like, given the army could bomb all of us, but then who would they have to work their factories and serve their food and shit like that? So it's like supposed to be a method to hold them in check, accountability, I guess. So all systems have have messed up things. So yeah, we have shootings and we have us killing each other, but that's because like it goes all the way back to the information, bro. The indoctrination and all of that from growing up, it creates that type of society. You know what I mean?
Now we call them fact checkers. Government surveillance trying to catch you. They don't ask questions. Mass incarceration equals capital for cash investors. The system isn't broke, it's working fine. Oppressive and chaotic is how it was designed. They say if we ain't doing nothing wrong, there's nothing to hide. While their agenda and intelligence completely classified. They don't teach you rights in school, you never learn them at all. Because they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people.
All right, so that's what I was trying to say in the last time I paused it. What they do is they conflate certain issues. So you have gun control, right? Then you have the LGBTQ, then you have the marriage, then you have this. So what they do is they conflate stuff. So they'll do things that people do not agree on, right? Like marriage. They'll throw that in there. But really, they'll be trying to sneak in all these other laws that's down, like way down on the tier, like the tier of things that they're talking about. So the news and everybody will be talking about, oh yeah, it's gun control, it's gun control, it's gun control. But all the way down on the amendments and stuff like that, they're trying to change a whole bunch of other shit that is oppressive. You know, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but if you talk to the average people, because the crazy thing is I'm from New York City, right? Moved to North Carolina, which is the South. And then the girl I was dating at the time, she was in the Army. So I moved to Kansas, which 3 different worlds, right? And they have a whole bunch of different mentalities. But when you talk to the average person. Everybody kind of agrees on the main things. It's the little things that they don't agree on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk to a Republican, their biggest thing is about being self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Don't take my money and try to build my community. Let me build my community with my own money. You know what I'm saying? But what they do is they take those little parts and they make it seem like we're this far apart of really understanding each other, which is bullshit. And then they go to the Democrats and they paint them out to be like social justice warriors, right? Like, oh yeah, this, that, and the third. But if you talk to the people on the Republican side, not a lot of them are going to be extreme racist and all of that stuff like they paint them out to be. So what they do is they use that to keep the divide there. So those two people never have a conversation. And that's why I don't believe in our system, because you'll have 4 years, 8 years of Democrat rule. And then when you get a Republican there, he's spending his 4 years trying to undo what this guy did. So while you have countries like China and these other countries, like they're going like this when it comes to technology, education, and all that stuff, we're kind of running back and forth fighting each other. So it's kind of dumb, bro. But anyway.
You never learn them at all, cause they're easy to remove if you don't know what they are. The only people you can rule are the criminal ones, so they force you into corners till you're breaking the law. We can't be free, can't have no peace till we're on the same team, but y'all are sheep. Blue the screen's just part of the machine. Y'all are sheep. What do y'all believe? My sheep. Nothing's what it seems.
Oh, and another thing somebody said, tell me if this is true. They said that he shoots a lot of his videos in his garage, which is fucking fire. Like, clearly his girlfriend's shooting the videos, right? So they were saying that they basically go out, get all the props, design the stuff, and create the scenes and all of that stuff, that is such a dope, like, artistic ability. You know what I mean? And to make all the shit in your crib, because a lot of artists, they have to go out and get a whole production team. That's what TMG Studios is. It's a media team. It's a production team. So we'll go, like, you'll call us and be like, I need to have a podcast and we need to have this type of imagery. And so we'll design it and do that and the third and get the cameras right and get your angles and all that stuff. They're doing all of this just amongst them too. So it's like he's handling, I know she does music. Yeah, I was saying she was signed to Def Jam and stuff like that. But from the number, just pure numbers, he's the main actor, right? On their independent duo. And he does the production, he does all of that stuff, the recording, and the performing. So he handles that, and she's like all the visuals. She's killing all of that shit. Because that's what I try to explain to a lot of artists that's coming up. You can't just make music, bro. You gotta essentially do it all. You gotta be a graphic designer, a street promoter. You gotta know how to get fans. You gotta perform well. It's a lot that goes into it, unless you have to sell your soul and get a team to take 90% of your money to do it for you. But anyway, this was fire. Out of the ones I did, I don't know if this is better than the system. The stuff that he was saying in the verses on this one is better than the system. But the system as a song, I think, might have been a little bit better. I don't know. Those are my top two favorites right now. And he's both popping this shit on both of them. So anyway, we're going to stay on this journey. Like, comment, subscribe, ding that bell. You already know. It's your boy, NewFutureFlash. Hit me up on Instagram. Follow me. Drop some recommendations. And we are gone.
What a shame to see me this way. You're so fine, can't look away. It's like I'm holding my tongue. I just hope I don't bite it. Why am I fighting? Is it 'cause I'm excited? Yeah.